I'm Lonnie Carter.
Yeah.
I live in the north part of the county, North Stewart Township. My house is at mile marker 94, right along 281 highway. I'm here in regards to this new track, this Mexican racetrack that Dennis Kraft wants to put in. I'm absolutely against this. Having lived within 1 mile of this previous one, I get to witness quite a bit of stuff that I don't really care for in my neighborhood. Very generally, there's a lot of drinking and driving going on there. Excuse me. There's a trash problem, be it trash or beer boxes, beer cans, dirty diapers. I picked all of them up out of my yard. Half mile south of my house is a county line road, 190. That if you go there after the races occur, it's a mess. They throw their trash out, they urinate, it's just a mess there. That's the first road going back towards Great Bend that is a dirt road. And if they're drinking, many of them go that way to go home. And I've witnessed myself, and it's a dangerous situation as well as a health hazard. This new one it's going to be more of the same, I'm sure. And I don't have any documentation. I teach driver's ed and along with some other things, but I'm worried about somebody getting killed with this drinking and driving. We can say, well, you have no proof that's going to happen. That's true, but somebody's going to be accountable for it, and it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen with the consumption that's going on. I'm sure there's other illegal things going on, but it's not my business, I suppose, to find out what. But I think it's just a can of worms, another can that we don't want to open. I certainly don't want it in my backyard, and it's going to be in my backyard. All of the neighbors that I've talked to are also against that, but many of them can't come to a meeting at this time. And this last one that we went through was ill-received at best, because I came to that meeting at 7 o'clock and the meeting was pretty much over. I thought we were to be there at 7, evidently we were supposed to be there at 6. But I didn't get to voice anything in that one, but I certainly tried. I don't know what the procedure is with you guys, but I want to find out how we can do what we need to do to not necessarily stop it, but there better be some, I would hope that there would be some rules and regulations that are very strict. So,
Well,
that's the way I think.
I don't know what
Thank you, guys.
Clay thinks here, but as far as I'm concerned, we need to send it back to the zoning committee
Sit down in here.
and,
Excuse me.
and have it republished, I think, to let you people have a chance to come in and talk to the zoning committee and give them we have that option to do that.
Well, that would be appreciated. I mean, this is kind of a first-time gathering for most of us, and there's some other issues too. If they're going to be a training facility, are they going to abide by the health rules for housing livestock out there through the state of Kansas, and making sure that these are all followed? I've been up there on the highway, and I get numerous calls from the sheriff's department on livestock that's out. And Lonnie's had numerous issues up there, and there's a precedence there that's been set as far as how they take care of some livestock. And I think those are the things you need to take a close look at as to whether the safety and the management and all of that is there. I'm not opposed to opening up new businesses, but I think they need to be run well. And I think it needs to enhance our community. Is this something that stimulates the economy? Is it something that you're proud of as commissioners, that you drive by and look and say, is this is something we're proposing? And so I think we need to look into this thing a little more than just a quick vote. And I don't know if you know everyone here, George Blakesley, and Ida Fancher, and then Jan and her husband. So, Tracy, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But that's what Carl told me earlier, that we have actually three options here. We can approve it, we can turn it back to the zoning committee, and give you folks a chance to come in and talk to them. Or what was the third option, Carl?
Do we need more chairs?
What was
I'm
that
sorry.
third option?
What was the two that you said?
That's approve it, turn it back to the zoning committee.
Or you can just override it? The commissioners can override the total, what the commission recommended to you. That'd be the three.
But I think it would be, my opinion is, give you folks a chance to talk to the zoning committee and hear your concerns. Anyway,
Well, it sounded like there was some letters given to the zoning committee that people were against it, and I didn't get a letter saying that this was going on, because I don't own the property across the road, so I didn't know about it. But that's what I've heard, is that the zoning committee had letters that people were against it, and it didn't seem to have any effect.
I don't know, I wasn't at that meeting.
Because so far, I've only found one person that was for it besides Dennis. And there's like 6 people that live within that mile. I mean, you're basically putting it in the middle of a residential area, and it's only a mile from this other track.
Mr. Suter, what does the zoning committee, what is their purpose?
Well, for one thing, maybe Carl can answer this better than me, but it is for this purpose, is to hear concerns and approve or turn down.
They could turn it down right there also? I see.
Yeah.
Who's on the zoning commission?
Is Roger still on
Yes.
You know Darryl Lucas.
that? He's from North Maxwell.
Marion Meshberger, he's around Stafford.
David Rurz.
Darryl Rurz.
David.
David.
Phyllis Staub,
He's
I can help
Pete
you.
Witt,
Pete Witt,
Lucas,
Darryl Lucas.
Gary Fisher, Marion Bushberger, David Rurz, Phil Staub, Roger Fancher. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Wade Harrison.
Do we need to talk to those folks? Or do we wait till we get to the meeting to visit with them?
I think it'd probably be better to wait and attend the meeting, a formal meeting.
Okay.
Of the 3 options, obviously we can't approve it because there's just 2 of us here today. So it'd either have to be tabled or, and I don't know what the protocol is, but all 3 of us have to be here to either approve, disapprove, or send it back to the zoning board. I think the zoning board is a good group, and I think they are looking out for the betterment of Stafford. I don't feel that we, as the commissioners, can override the board because, how much faith would they put in us and how much faith would they have in approving other things, for the county. So I think we ought to go back, the due process, and if it can be, start it all over again. But my impression was that letters were sent to all property owners, is that correct?
This says
George didn't
16.
get one, he was pretty close. He's only within a half a mile.
Just within half a mile from it.
You didn't get one?
I don't think Betty Dewey did, and she's half a mile.
It has to be 1,000 feet.
Well, the noise travels 1,000 feet,
And the traffic.
that's what. I mean, the traffic.
The property owner is within 1,000 feet of the proposed site.
And that's only one person.
And that's mandated by the state.
By the regulations. We went a little further on this one because the Carters aren't within 1,000 feet.
Neither is John Merritt.
And then John Mayer, but I thought those property owners deserve the right to know that close.
Thank you.
So we did go the extreme there on that one.
But Carl, can we have another zoning meeting?
If you send it back to them,
Okay. That's,
I think, so what we'll have to do is table it today and wait for JD to be here, because I think all three of us should be here.
Sure.
Okay?
Not if you're gonna send it back down.
Not if
no,
you send it back.
no, I don't think we
Oh,
have
okay.
to if we send it back down. I think we can do that today.
You guys are a quorum. You can,
Oh, I've got
Yeah, the quorum can do on things.
it's scary you have that much power.
I'm not afraid.
I'm learning.
That doesn't scare me.
It does make, but
I learn something every day, you know? I've only been here, what, 8 months now?
Has to be 1,000 feet from the exact site.
no trouble from the property line. Because his property line's a half mile long.
And it goes south. In other words,
But is there any way, Carl, that you can let these folks know when that meeting is? It will be published, will it be published again?
I don't think this one has to be published, not if you send it back to them.
Is there any way that we can let these folks know when this meeting is?
We had, sure.
can we leave you a list of names where you can?
list and addresses.
If you're not gonna attend, you know, it'd be nice, maybe a letter to them, signing it actually, and
I think it'd be better if you had attended, actually, I mean,
Yeah, I think you're right.
it's better to see the person and try to read her letter.
Probably an evening meeting too, correct?
that'd be right.
Yes,
That's correct.
That's better.
And do we have to hold it within a certain time frame?
Mhm. I'll have to go back and look.
Okay.
The last one we did at 6 o'clock, is that, I mean, okay, 7 o'clock later work?
If it's in the
If
next
there's a
2
lot of
weeks, it's
people,
gonna
if
be
there's a lot
busy
of
time.
If there's a lot of people.
Ken will be busy, I know.
No,
Lonnie will
that's
be.
okay. 7 o'clock would be better for Steve Brummer because sometimes he doesn't get off work till 6 o'clock. And he couldn't be here today. And we wanted to-
7 would be
7
better.
would be better.
If they bring it back to you, then it will be put in your lap, won't it?
And they do have to send it back to the
Yes.
commission.
Okay.
Even to move it down.
Yes, ma'am.
In other words, I don't have no beef then. I'm too
You
far
wanna write the
away.
name
No,
on that?
you
Because
can- you
so
just not
often you'll notice
notify.
when it is.
No,
It's just
you
a
can,
secret.
anybody can come, yeah, anybody can come in.
Well, anybody probably lives in that, the county or even in that township, actually.
Yeah, I suppose anybody with an opinion about it.
Because he's got ground just right down the way, I mean, he has to go by that all the time, so.
And you're gonna get traffic from it.
Yeah, because the traffic coming off that other one is horrendous, I mean.
That's tremendous. The last time he had a rodeo, Kraft had a rodeo there for, I don't know, a summer. And his cowboys would end up on our property drinking beer and other things.
To cross the road.
Yeah, because we have trees.
George, you're more familiar with that water flow and stuff, and this spring really enhanced all of that. Where he's proposing to put that track back in there, there was a lot of water and stuff back in there. I mean, how is the location I mean, has anybody given any thought as to when they put this in, is that gonna change the flow of that water any back in there to where it's gonna
Well, first
affect?
place is stupid to put it down in there in the mud hole. That's where he lives, in the mud hole. He was warned not to put his trailer house in there. He was beefing about that because FEMA wasn't in and had no insurance to take care of him. Now he's trying this trick.
Yeah, because if it's the wetlands, they can't change the,
I don't know if it is.
I don't know if it is or not. For being a river, you know, river bottom, no, I think they call it Mystery River, it should be a wetlands, I would think. I mean, I know we have to abide by the wetlands rules for filling in mud holes and stuff like that.
Trees.
Yeah,
And taking trees out and stuff like that. I mean, you have to abide by the rules for farming, so I don't understand why, if it's a river bottom area, if it is a Mystery River, how they can build it up or do whatever they need to do.
I'm sure to find that out, you could ask the Soil Conservation Service out here whether it is a wetland.
I'll stop on that.
Probably you can call it a wetland.
It's,
You know that would be a fact.
Hey Carl, like on the, I was reading in here that he proposes to use porta potties for the facilities. Is that adequate with our help? I mean, is that, with the amount of, number of people that's in there? I mean,
They have
is
to
that
put so
gonna
many
be,
per person.
is that gonna be adequate? Is that, I mean, cause that water flows from the west kind of through the east, and that could be a concern to those folks that are,
The number of,
yep, yeah, I would.
That's why I said I'm having my water tested now. I need to have it tested later. Because I know this other racetrack, there's like 60 vehicles at a time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's a mess down there.
It's a circus.
There's at least 60. I was gonna take a picture for you, but I didn't hear it this weekend, so. There's piles of manure that are 10 foot tall, and then there's 60 to 100 cars. You can hear their music, we're a mile and a half away. We can hear
Well, it would be sad if they didn't get in fights.
it. Yeah, yeah.
When you pull out your belt buckles, your belts and big belt buckles on there and start slinging them, you know there's, I didn't win that race, I'm gonna win it.
I get some horses.
Next time I'll win, because you won't be here. Well, I've never been up there because
Oh, it gets pretty
I
loud.
just never had that, you know, in the first place, didn't know when they were gonna be.
It's been every other Sunday or Saturday.
Well, Lonnie can call you.
Yeah, he can call
He
you.
knows.
You'll be able to hear it if I call you.
Just stick the phone over the door.
Because you can hear it inside the house, the music most of the time.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're 2 miles away the way the crow flies, and we can, it's pretty loud there on some nights if the wind is dry.
And it's like at 10, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night.
Let me just
Because the
show
race
you.
is supposed to stop at night, you know, when the sun
This
goes
is where this
down.
racetrack is.
But, you know, there's always partying afterwards.
This is where he wants to put it. And he got something.
okay.
That one's that loud. Then, this is gonna be louder yet. I mean, just because you're closer yet, and Lonnie Carter's just gonna hit stereo.
Yeah,
And
it'd be
Greg.
quadraphonic.
Yeah.
Hear it from both sides,
Dragging
especially
him.
when the wind blows.
Okay, well, I think that probably would be the proper way to handle this, is go back to the zoning committee with it. And give you people an opportunity to air your concerns to them directly. What do you think?
I agree.
My honest opinion, you don't need it either, but
How many other racetracks have we approved in the last 3 or 4 years in Stafford County?
there
Has
was
it been-
one other one besides the one that's operating.
And it's no longer in existence,
It's no
right?
longer in existence.
It's just kind of strange to have 2 racetracks in the same township. I mean, that's,
Well, then I
but
asked,
that's, you know, it's freedom of business, but, you know, it's one of those things.
could they limit the permit too, as to how long, like, try it for so much a year and see? if it is a problem?
I think that'd all be under the jurisdiction of, and, you know, and understand, I don't think, you know, as a commission, we wanna override, you know, in
You just
good
wanna-
faith, you know, I think we should do the process, and either they approve or disapprove. You know, our final say is, you know, we pass the resolution, you know, based on the recommendation from the zoning board. I guess we do have the right to veto, but,
Just kind of stamp it.
yeah.
If you do, if it ends up here and you do say no, will he be able to reapply?
I would
Is there a
guess
time?
if he could reapply, couldn't he?
Could, I mean,
But I would guess if he wouldn't.
it would cost him another $125 for the application fee.
Because the people that are on this zoning board are volunteers.
That's correct.
So I think,
And the big share of them are farmers, so they know
Associated with the farm.
the concerns, yeah.
I don't know of any of them that live in that area though, correct?
Roger would be the closest.
Yeah.
That's
He's not.
quite a way.
But he,
Well, what we tried to do when we made up this zoning committee was to get widespread,
Yeah.
somebody from each area, you know, to try to make this as fair as possible.
Representation.
And I really think we do have a really good zoning committee.
So time-wise then, Carl, about what time frame will you go back and notify the zoning committee?
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
say that you want to have another meeting? Because
that's correct, then we're sending it back to them, and then Need actually sends out the letters to the zoning commission, and it'll be in a couple weeks, just so they can work it in their schedule. And then it'll go 14 days back to the commissioners then.
Very fine.
It's approximately about 2 weeks.
At least two.
But I think before we do this, at 9 o'clock, I need to bring this to the commissioners. If they want, if everyone wants to stay, they can. Or if you want to, probably should wait till 9, don't we, in case, you know, Dennis could show up for this.
What about the township board?
We have had, matter of fact, the racetrack south of town, the township was one of the bigger against it due to the traffic on the roads.
Yeah, that's what I
They
wondered.
they didn't feel like that specific road was built for that kind of traveling. So, in this instance, it would be the county. That's a county road, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
County road.
Maintained by the
You know,
county.
so they do, it has happened to where the township stood up and said,
Well, is this where you guys have coffee and donuts? We wanted to stay long enough for that, didn't
You know,
that
that's
too?
not a bad suggestion.
did you make a copy? Did you make a copy?
We haven't found
Did you make
anybody
a
to
copy of the
furnish it.
resolution, correct? But it's not
I
signed.
understand
It's
that,
not signed.
yes.
I
I
didn't
mean, I didn't know if everybody wanted to see what the board put in there.
We could.
There's
I don't
really
think
not
I
a
even have it.
resolution though right now. Other than-
Well, here,
No. You just gave
It's
us-
in the minutes.
they're in the
of it.
minutes.
This is a copy of the minutes from the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The stipulations that the board
put on there on the back.
What is your name?
Lonnie.
Take them up along the road.
We need an extra body.
Well, no wider than his property is there. There'd be a problem with parking,
It could be that, that's,
Oh, yeah.
unless you can move all the trees out.
they started that, we didn't have a bulldozer in there.
They had a cat in there the other day.
I'm not sure, probably never
Yeah, I
know.
know they
Wonder
did.
who had some cattle around the other ground.
Yeah, because I know we had a little problem with Dennis 5 years ago. His cows kept getting out into my mile.
For 3 years, we finally,
We're gonna hold the lawyer and find
Well,
out.
if you got any extra hay, he can take care of it.
Nice neighborhood.
You're not supposed to be listening to everything.
I just won't repeat.
You're on camera.
is it supposed to be a half-mile track, or is it, you can't, I mean it?
Quarter.
Quarter, okay. That's my count. Like, how's that work?
Yeah, it goes, but,
Oh,
so actually, you're gonna get out of the, you can get out of the mud hole.
Hey, Betty.
Morning.
Hey, we'll just turn the sign around, Carl, you sit over here.
Okay.
He's on vacation.
Ms. Dew, you want to sign your name here? You're in attendance?
Yeah.
You're a little tardy, but you're in attendance.
Well, I just was a little tardy in getting the message.
Well, after I heard the last time the other track down there they had a race, it's not a bad, it's not good. It's not good unless they operate this different than that down there, further south of me.
Well, it also says races throughout the week,
Mhm.
and maybe some
Really?
mornings.
Yeah, that's what this said.
That could be daily.
Mhm.
Well, they probably have to put that in if they're doing training, because they're after rest the horse.
Barn will be for personal use.
So if they're looking for a way to generate income, I believe I'm out making payments.
What does it take to get a liquor license or a beer license?
Well, that part of it, if there's no felony against whoever applies, you can't turn them down.
I see. And you can sell beer anywhere you want then?
Just on the premises.
On the
On the
premises.
premises.
On
It's-
own property?
The permit is issued specifically for if he applies for this property,
I see.
and is to be consumed on the premises.
But, see, our hands are kind of tied
Oh, yeah.
because if there's no felony against whoever applies, like, there's no,
Nothing against us, and the machines and-
Sure.
so. And I'm sure they can find someone that's not done
Right.
a felony.
Yeah. We don't have many of those in the county, do we?
9 o'clock.
Beer licenses. Not many in the whole county.
I think we issued 4 a year.
Okay, this is on the, this would have been the resolution 07001. This would be on the straight horse track and training facility for Dennis Kraft. And zoning board commissioners looked at this, and those are actually the 5 stipulations, conditions that was added from the zoning commission to you guys. They're asking your approval on this.
Well, I think due to the circumstances, we need to not approve the resolution and send it back to the zoning and planning board.
Did you make that motion?
I make that a motion.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It will be sent back to the zoning board then.
I'll get some dates together and get back with you then, meet on that. Do you have a list of everybody here? Okay. And their mailing address?
Is there anybody else you guys can think of we need to send a letter to that couldn't come today?
Sure. Steve Rummer.
Not marking.
That's all right. I've been wanting to do it.
BRUMEBR.
Lonnie, how about Ralph and his sister? I think she's right up against,
She's next to it.
next to it. She's in Oklahoma.
That's Clan Dewey, he owns property, right?
What's the
She
percentage?
takes the Clan Dewey.
I don't know the sister, Greg.
I think Ralph, who lost one night, Greg Dunn,
Sweet Hampton.
Hampton's, Joanne and Sweet.
James
James, that's his name.
Hemphill.
Is that Mrs. Bird?
Calvin Munn.
Dwayne's wife.
Yeah,
Yeah. That Carol?
Carol.
Carol Burton.
Ralph Dolezal is one. He's the owner of the ground adjacent to the south of this proposed tract. DOLEZAM. That's a Great Bend address I'm not talking about.
I probably not in here.
Yes.
George Castle, too.
Yeah.
I think of her name.
Maryland.
Okay, well,
Thank you very much.
we thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Coming in.
Appreciate your time.
Hi, good to see you. Don't stop in, I didn't, gotta come to St. John to these meetings to see you, huh?
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, it is strange.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
You were right with me. Yes, I know you did.
Not bad.
Just no one shows up.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
You bet.
No, that's your job. Oh, you get paid big bucks, Carl. Good morning.
Good, thank you.
Me and
Did you guys have anything for me on the break? Okay.
Back together for us.
Thank you.
I guess that's working.
How are you, Doris?
I'm good. I just wanted to come in and report on our interviewing last week. First round interviewed 5, came down to 2.
two.
And then we had a discussion and I offered the position to Janice Messer. She
She,
accepted it.
she was there before when she kind of knows them.
She accepted it. She'll start October 1st. Does she need to do anything ahead of time?
If she could, that would be great.
Okay, I'll tell her.
If she happens to be around, she might come in.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can wait.
I think I had 15 applicants that returned it.
Really?
But I gave out more than that. I gave out probably about 30. People didn't bring back. Anyway, that's it.
Okay, well,
Okay?
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
One thing's accomplished and
Yes, and thank you for your help, Mr. Graham. I appreciate it.
you're welcome.
We'll recess.
Tomorrow.
Who's the they?
Seward City
Who's
Council.
on the city?
I talked to the mayor, Farrah Haberman. She cornered me the other night in the restaurant.
I figured
So-
that's where all that town's business is.
I told her I would pass it along to you. They have some concerns about their siren not going off or, she would just like to visit with you.
I will try to make their acquaintance more.
Okay.
What are we doing here? Oh, I remember now. We're
I
missing
didn't mean to
somebody.
get you off your game here.
We talked about the changes to the resolution about open burning, and,
No, this one I brought down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And said you didn't see any problem with any
I don't have any problems. On your burn ban resolution, the vast majority of your violations are gonna be people who walk away from the burn because they wanna run an errand or something, 15, 20 minutes, the wind shift, the wind comes up and problems occur.
Copy of the.
Because we've had something like that on the books since about 1996. And we played with it,
It's
and
in there.
revised it a couple of times. in
You
Ellsworth
just wanna look
County,
at an old one?
but the vast majority of the
You
problem,
already read
people,
too?
you know, leaving unattended,
Maybe.
start it, no,
Oh,
I
have you
think it's
ever seen
okay.
it?
Yeah, it's
You've
better
got
as
that,
well.
you've
I
got
just-
that, and I've got these people, it's my land, I'm gonna do it when I want.
We got, actually, we haven't that much of a problem with people not calling it in, I mean, for whatever reason.
I just know here,
Walkaways.
in the last 2 weeks, I've had 5 people, we've made 5 fire runs for people starting a fire and not calling it in. I had one Sunday start a fire, or had one Sunday get told not to burn because the wind was 34 miles an hour, and he called, and he got told not to burn, and he called back half an hour later and said, yeah, I'm done now. So, that's my problem. And while the guy was doing that, they had 3 of the 7 fire stations in the county putting out a fire that burned within 15 feet of somebody's great big horse barn. So, if that one would've got out of control over there, I don't know what we would've done. We'd had some people from St. John or Stafford, and it was up north of Hudson, been a long way. We probably would've watched it go into Barton County and let them deal with it. So, that's my thing, and it just seems to be,
Are you getting all this?
just seems to be an attitude of,
Yeah,
I don't have to do this, and so,
you know, I've asked several people, is it that much trouble to make a phone call? But this deal here, when you're told not to burn,
because what this whole thing, you can consolidate this whole document down to 2 things. We want to know, so we know what's controlled and what's not.
that's right.
We want you to call us, and we don't want you to violate the state law, because the state law already says no open burning if the wind's over 15 miles an hour. So we're not putting an undue burden on anybody. I don't feel like, we're saying, let us know and don't break the law. That's all we're asking.
That's
But it's too
not-
much for
That's
some
very
folks.
simple, you know. How much more simple can you make it?
And, I mean, not to confuse the issue, because we talk about burn bans and stuff too, I mean, we've got that. Before we did this, we had a resolution for a burn ban, but we're hardly ever in a burn ban. Hopefully, we don't ever have to be in a burn ban. So I want, this will address the normal day operations. And we can revisit the burn ban one later, if
Yeah.
we need to tweak it, But, yeah, I'd like to,
This one is ready?
this one is ready.
We can publish it in the paper for 2 weeks, and it'd be good.
Okay.
Do we need all 3 of us to be here for this?
Just 2 can sign
No,
it.
2, no. There are certain resolutions have to be unanimous, typically
But this
when
one
you're
doesn't.
conveying title, to real estate. This one can be, well, you have a quorum here, and if 2 are voting, that's the majority for a quorum.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2007-R-15, the resolution outlawing burning under certain circumstances.
I'll second that motion. Been moved and seconded, we have approve this 07-R-15. All in favor, say aye.
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 Is that what we'll do then?
This is the one where we're gonna add
Okay, so that was
a couple lines to it. What Jason wants to do on this, I'll call it the untitled resolution dealing with the monetary request of Ina Mae Poland, deceased. Jason wants to use some of the interest from the principal to pay the premiums, I guess, on the firefighters relief fund,
No, that insurance we talked about last week.
which I don't have a problem with that.
So we just gonna write that in there.
I'll just have a cookie, somebody stick a line in there.
Stick a line there, says we can do that, and then.
Okay.
Okay.
Because apparently the state used to pick up all the premium.
They did.
And now they don't.
Right, they don't. So, too many firefighters getting killed in the last however many years made the rates skyrocket. So, last year, I found out the exact number last year was $25. They went around it, all the volunteers and had everybody pay $25 to raise enough money to cover it. So, by doing this, we keep from having to do that.
If that's acceptable, let me go downstairs and get that,
Okay.
and get her back up here.
That's fine.
We, just so you know, we're interviewing 4 people this week for 2 positions. Because we've got, just to recap, we talked before about we've got Lynn's spot is open, and since we haven't paid her salary for 6 months, we've got enough money to hire 2 of them now, because we're not gonna probably start until 1st of October. So we're gonna interview 4. 1 of them withdrew, 2 of them didn't meet resume and background check type requirements. So we're gonna interview 4. 1 local, 1 from out of town. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday.
Okay.
We've got other people besides myself that are going to be on the interview committee. Just like Doris did, I mean, I'll extend an offer to any one of the 3 of y'all that wants to sit in on them. That's be fine with me. I'm not saying you have to, but I don't want you to think you're excluded. I've got Doris involved, and got Dr. Farmer involved, and just grabbed another longtime volunteer from the service that I think is objective, and made an interview panel where it's not just me.
Seems like you got it covered.
We've got a set out agenda for them all, a basic written skills EMT type test, an oral panel interview, and then a scenario with a simulated patient, just to see how they perform and interact under pressure. So we're probably under more pressure with people sitting there watching than they are out on the highways and from experience. So we're going to do that, and we should know by the end of the week what we're at, who we're going to grab for that.
Good.
Good.
That's about it.
Okay.
We got an ambulance, we went and got it. It's gonna be a little bit, because the state has to come out here and inspect it, even though it was licensed at another ambulance service.
Moved it to counties, so they had to,
Nice job securing it.
they're paying somebody to do that, and they gotta give them a job.
So, that's about it.
Don't leave yet.
Oh, boy, I didn't even see
Morning. I wanted to visit with you guys about, Jason and I discussed this a few times, and when he first came, we discussed it. And he wanted to get his, everything
kind of under control before we really discussed it. With Tim being killed over there, we've helped out Maxville when Troy needs off, and before, they'd always helped me out when we had vacation or sick. Well, obviously they can't do that now, and my intention is to deputize Jason as a part-time officer so he can, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, just like this new fire deal, that way he can write the tickets, he'll be deputized. But to do that, to cover me, I would like to send Jason to that part-time 2-week school at KLETC, which they only have 2 of them a year, and I haven't checked to see when they are. But obviously, that's something the county would have to pay his wages while he's there. So I want to make sure that's fine with you guys.
I don't see anything wrong with it, so.
Very good then. Pursue that.
So you get to wear another badge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at it too.
There you
Sure you done.
Scary.
He will be, as soon as he goes through that.
Hold it.
We'll rethink that.
Yeah, I think so.
No, we talked, I mean, you guys see why. It's a
Oh,
good-
yeah, absolutely.
It's a pretty good fit, because we work so close together
Well,
anyway.
and just that one thing.
Yeah,
That's kind of what really got us talking.
Yeah.
We talked, because I offered to do it, and we talked about it some, and then when this came up, then we really talked about it.
I think that's for, you know, if it was for nothing else but that, it would really, I really think so.
well, and Jason, you know, we go to the same scenes quite a bit, and sometimes, well, a lot of times he's there before we are,
Yeah.
and he could have helped us a couple different times with people that had warrants, you know, and so.
should have been, got a warrant, should have been for that microchip. In the meantime, I'll fix your bud.
That's sort of, that automaticates you, you know.
Yeah.
So,
They come to all our calls and drive the ambulance if we need to, or whatever, so it'd be nice to be able to return the favor and help them out. Anyway.
Any progress?
I
on
haven't
the
heard
building?
anything. I haven't heard a thing from out there.
No, good, I'm glad you said that. Her and I discussed this, but just to run it by y'all, we're having an EMT class, starts tonight. It's probably okay with you anyway, but I'd like to know if we can have it in that
I would
building.
absolutely say
That
yes.
classroom is
That
awesome
is
fit
what,
for it.
that's what it's
So-
for.
And they are hauling clothes out of there after they.
Yeah, and I told them that they're not gonna pass the class unless they all take a box of clothes.
You'll give them an A+ if they take 2 boxes.
That's right. But it'll meet Monday and Wednesday nights from now until December 15th, a few Saturdays in there. And I'm excited to say that right now we have 7 local people that
Really?
are signed up. And I'm tickled because that's the biggest class they've had in several years.
There's a lady over at Maxwell just asked me about it.
She called me about it too, and she's not sure one way or another, so
Okay,
we have at least 7 local people.
okay, she asked me about it the other day.
Yeah, she said she'd talk to you. She called me in the office and
Yeah.
thinking about it. So anyway,
And there's a new resident over in Stafford, did she call?
she is gonna, she said she's gonna do
Okay.
So I'm assuming the architect hasn't talked to you
Yes, I
guys or
did.
sent you
that. But I can
anything?
get her.
But he's got all your requirements and then he was here and did some measurements and
Right.
stuff?
Yeah, he was here for probably 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
So,
Who's that same guy?
What did
this is from Garden City.
Different guy.
Yeah, it's,
He
yeah.
sent that letter.
We have
Just showed these
anything else?
hours.
You guys have a copy of it.
We'll recess.
I plan to
Yes.
return to
Re-
St. John's in
recess.
September.
Go ahead and make this tax roll correction on oil personal property for, what is it, Keith Thomas? Which is $39.62.
I'll second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
There, right there.
I guess we recess recess till
Till Joe gets
Joe
back.
gets back up here.
Very briefly, our Road and Bridge Department advises that one of our roads, the South Dillwyn Road, which is an asphalt and blacktop road, got tore up by a truck from Cunningham Ready Mix to the tune of a little over $10,000. So I will be sending your basic, nasty gram demand letter. I'll try to figure out who owns what. I get on the web page there for the Secretary of State, and sometimes you have like tiers of corporations. And basically say, look, you want to pay us for the road, and if not, we'll, have to sue you because, $10,500 some dollars is not my name. So what I'll do is I'll just, copy my letter.
Oh, there he is.
She's gonna bring it up. I was just talking to the commission about a road of ours that got torn up.
Yeah.
The joys of hardtop roads.
They just poured it or something? And-
Yeah, they were working.
And somebody was running a big heavy load and they just,
Yeah.
say the ones who really tear up roads in Kansas is Koch Industries. They are notorious for having these ridiculous loads where they hit the right box culvert and kaboom. So I'll just take one of my box culvert letters and
And
change
adjust it.
Well, no doubt they have insurance covers stuff like that.
Yeah, but like I say, it's a squeaky wheel that gets the grease.
Yeah, if you don't say anything, you're not gonna get it. That's a known fact.
And here's the thing that, bothers me. Used to be back when you had, corporations, whether subchapter C or subchapter S, they were pretty much, there for the duration, I mean. Now when you have all these LLCs, they come and go so rapidly. I've had problems suing LLCs where they keep morphing into different business entities, through the lawsuit. I had that problem with a little, porno video store up on I-70. I was always having to amend my petition and whatnot. Do substitution of parties and whatnot. Well, Cookie was typing the last of it when I came up with this, so she should be up momentarily. We had to look up the proper term. Everybody calls it the Firefighters Relief Fund. It's not, it's the Firefighters something association.
That one doesn't have to be published, does it?
No. Yeah, here we go. Thank you. Yeah, let's see, Firefighter Relief Association.
Relief.
Well, we need a whiteout. Should be, she got the citation wrong. Just one of the numbers wrong. Oh,
Okay.
it's right here. I have no idea how to work that.
The 456,
It should be 40.
406, or just 40?
40. Hey, if it's not the paintbrush in the bottle, forget about it.
It's hard to get off the screen too.
Okay, so this will be,
Well, I remember the typewriters used to have, the fancy typewriters used to have that correction ribbon
Yeah.
beneath the black one, hit the special button. I mean, I was good at that in college.
Okay, I make a motion we adopt resolution number 07R-16. It's a resolution governing the expenditure of the monetary request left to the county by Ina Mae Tolan.
Second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Colin.
Yeah, I read through her estate upstairs. She left lots of bequests to the
Yeah.
local entities.
Yeah. Quite a little lady, she sure
It
was.
was.
I would guess that lady never said a mean word about anybody in her life. Is there anything else to come before the commission?
I have nothing.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
We are adjourned. That water